What's up, guys? Repeat back with you. Start of a brand new week. Start of post-season championship. Getting to the chase kind of race. Phoenix International Speedway is going to be race number 1 of the 6-week stretch. And guys, got about 12 cars going to be on track tonight. Of course, everybody's still chasing after that 38 of NNR bowling. Started out FNL bowling, but he's going for that that NNR championship. As always, in the booth, got the one and only Experts Racing, as well as Commando Griff. You'll see him on track tomorrow, and I promise you it won't be such an unlucky 13. I got a pretty good feeling about this guy. Expert starting off. Guys are done with qualifying. They're back in the lobby, getting ready to go. Who you got tonight, sir?
Well, there's a lot of great guys that's going to be out here tonight. You know, you got to look, of course. I believe NNR Bowling's going to be out here tonight. He's always going to be a guy that you have to look at, especially, I mean, we've talked about throughout the season. He's already got one hand on the trophy. Guys like Bossy Gio, he couldn't come out here and take a win. I've raced with him here at Phoenix. He can be a guy that's very strong. Yeti that we talk about, he can be out there and showing a great race as well. A lot of top guys out there. I wouldn't even sleep on Spoiled Milk. He could be a guy to go up there. We've seen him challenge bowling in the later half of the season. So a lot of great guys out here. And, of course, we know I'll make that pick right at the end of stage 2.
There you go. He'll put his Larry Mack cap on, and all of a sudden, he thinks he knows it all. Go figure. Commando Griff, good to have you back, buddy. How are you?
Hey, good to be back, Pete. I'm doing pretty well.
Man, I'll tell you what, I'm looking forward to seeing what you and a lot of those Xfinity guys are going to be able to do tomorrow. Points reset. It's gonna fall kind of in King Mather's way. He came on really, really strong. You know a few of these guys here tonight. Some of them, you know, there's I think 2 #JPA Militia guys out here. Who do you have your eye on?
Well, 24 races in the regular season, Pete. It all leads down to these final 6 races. I have got my eye on TGM Beast tonight. Talked to him a little bit pre-race, and he sounded very confident after his run at Darlington. So, give me TGM Beast.
All right, so Beast. I tell you what, I think I'm gonna go with that 20 of Spoiled Milk. He has been pouring it on, no pun intended, since yeah, I actually just came up with that top of my head. Why not? Yeah, he has been pouring it on since joining NNR. Got to give a big old thanks to the one and only Vols out there in chat. Big appreciation for those 100 bits and his continued support all season long. Of course, the one and only Rock NASCAR wouldn't be a league race without him, whether it's just a single series league or a 3-series community like NNR. Bowling out there already bragging on his pole. We'll have to see if Beast or Spoiled Milk going to be able to upset that. But, man, then you see Cape and J-Paw's dropping 4 bits and then another 88 for Beast. So we'll have to see if he's going to be able to get it done. Serving Cone, he's out there in chat as well. Want to know what the poll time was? Cone, it looks like it was a 27.194, won by that Crossley Ford of NNR Bowling. Getting ready to set this off. The countdown is on. Only going to be a matter of time here, Expert. We are going championship racing. 6 more weeks to go.
Oh, you're exactly right. And, you know, I've always liked the track. I was able to race here and have the privilege of racing here with Vols the other night. And the big thing it came down, even in these in a race like this here at Phoenix, is the one thing you have to look at is tire wear and how to manage that. One thing you won't have to worry about here, fuel. You'll make it on fuel every single time, but whenever you look at those tires, this desert will tear them up, will burn them to shreds. It's going to be crazy. So that's something you have to keep in mind, and it's going to be something that these drivers really have to take care of if they want to put their trucks in victory lane.
And you know something? That's absolutely something that I said to Swats and a few of the guys in the chat earlier during the connection and qualifying, who was able to get on in and get enough practice to make sure that they don't wear that right front down to the cords, and they're able to run it all the way out on fuel, not have to pit early on tires. So here we are loading in now. Definitely appreciate just about all 10 to 15 guys that are out there on track to match the 10 to 15 that are going to be on track tonight. Griff, we're getting ready to get loaded in. We're going to see Bowling and these other guys get ready, get set, and get gone. Like I mentioned, this starts off our 6-week finale. We're going to go through the field. Look, like I said, 38 of Bowling. He's going to be on pole. You got the 29 of Mataran, or again, just call him Yeti to the outside. 88 of TGM Beast. There's one of those guys. Then we got the 20 of Spoiled Milk, my pick for tonight. 16 of Classic Stew. 24 of Krabby Soup. He is always fast. Let's see if he's going to be able to get it done tonight. We got the 98 of Papa Bear. Pretty good qualifying effort for him. 13 of Garrett. A little bit further back, 51 of NNR Swats with the 4 of I Am Iron Man. With those Iron Man colors. I absolutely love it. NNR Cowboy in that safe light number 19. And we're going to bring it back up. They are ready, door banging off of turn number 4. Here we go, expert. Take us to the green.
And here we go. These guys know they can't use the dog leg yet, but they waste no time getting down there already. After they cross the starting stripe, here we go. These guys already in the top 5, single file, knowing that battling here is not going to help them. It's more going to be a speed race. Who can get up to the front and who can try to get to the lead, get in the clean air, and be able to save a little bit. That's who's going to be able to be successful here.
Absolutely.
As we come off the corner, though, go ahead, Pete.
No, I was just gonna say I'm absolutely agreeing with you. Commando Griff, looks like everybody right now, little bit of separation between not there. It seems like everybody just got into single file, ready to just tackle the race stage by stage. No sense in really pushing it right now. And just as I say that, 51-24 and the 98 of Pop Bear, they go 3 wide. Going into turns 3 and 4, just the 4 of I Am Iron Man left alone in the back. But the rest of the field kind of getting a little bit of separation now.
Yeah, and this is to be expected, Pete. You don't want to go out here and tear your stuff up immediately. You want to see what that right side tire wear looks like at the end of this run. Make a few modifications to your setup. And get them wearing at an even level. Take a look at Bowling going down here into turn number 1 here. He is all the way below the yellow line, and that is where you are going to see the good trucks run. You're not going to see them running up above that yellow line. You want that truck rotating on the bottom of the racetrack as smoothly as possible.
How about old J-Pie out there saying a $10 Amazon card to a random commenter? So that's somebody out there in chat. For if a hashtag JPOD Militia member wins. So he's putting it on the 88 of Beast or the 4 of I Am Iron Man to try to get up here and take the win from the 38 of Bowling. But, man, by the way, Bowling's already got a half a straightaway lead. He is wasting absolutely no time at all, expert.
And you're exactly right, and that's something we come to expect. But we've always noticed, he's had those dominant parts. And then towards the end, it just seems a few guys are able to creep up there. So right now, of course, I say this every week, and it's always going to be a thing that I mention. Stage 1, especially if I'm these drivers, it's a feeling out process. How does the truck feel? What adjustments do I need to make? How does it feel in traffic? If I can get a little bit of space, how does it feel in clean air? What different lines react different ways? How can I make this better? How can I run faster times? Yada, yada, yada. Everything that as a crew chief and a driver you need to know. That's what stage 1 is all about for me if I'm one of the drivers in this point. I mean, I'm looking, TGM Beast is back here. He is holding up the 26, and here comes the 22. The 26 is inside for position, that being Yeti sitting right there in 3rd, getting past, or no longer getting past, but had the 20 of Spoiled Milk all over his back bumper. So a group of guys here all together. The big question is if they're going to try to fill out how to race around each other, or is it going to be, okay, let's work with each other, see what we can do to try to go catch that 38.
They are really, they're all putting it out there. It's like there's a bounty on Bowling. I kind of feel bad for the guy. Vol's now out there saying, I'll tell you what, J-Pa, I'll follow along. I'll give $20 to any driver that beats Bowling tonight. The guys out there in chat, they may not know this. And you know what? Bowling better hope that nobody finds out. Because, hey, man, some people said, I'll wreck my grandma for a win. But what would they do for a championship? I think $20 is kind of slim pickings when it comes to your reputation. And oh, by the way, this is only week 1 of 6 weeks going towards that championship. I don't know if I'd draw blood this early. Griff, what do you think?
Well, one thing that I noticed here, Pete, is with all these bounties that are going out, J-Paw had an interesting quote at the beginning of this week. He said, in this first race of the chase, you can sure lose your chance at winning the race. You're not going to be able to go out here and seal the deal, race 1. If I'm bowling, I might be able to seal this whole deal if I can go out here and lead stage 1, stage 2, and finish off by winning this race. These guys have to make up an average of 7 points a race on bowling in order to catch up to him. And that's the guy who's in second place in points. I'm not even calculating the guys who are further back in points. So 7 whole points that you have to make up if you're going to catch this guy.
Man, I tell you, Cape's adding to it. Experts out there saying he'll add $20 to that. Vol's still there. Cape just said, hell, I'll do one better. Ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, children of all ages, gather around. I'll do a $30 gift card if anyone can guess how many cars will be on the lead lap at the end of the race. Man, I won recently. I haven't got my tumbler yet, Cape. But man, I'm sure that knocks me out. Expert, I think you were out of it as well. Griff, you got a chance at this. Man, there's Cole 315 out there. He's saying 8 cars or 8 trucks are going to be left. J-Pa's saying 6. So some great, great way to get everybody back into it as they're going 2 and 3 wide through the dogleg.
Yeah, and I would definitely shoot for a lower number if you guys are out there in the chat. Bowling is on a tear. He has almost got an entire straightaway lead on this 26 of Yeti, and he continues to add to it.
Expert, what you got, buddy?
Right now, I'm looking back here with these guys, and there's a battle forming as the 26 of Yeti was able to get around these guys. I've raced for him for a bit. He drove for my team in leagues before, so I know how good he can be. But right here, right behind him, battle for third, and you're on the camera with it, Pete. Spoiled Milk and TGM Beast, they're trying to see what they can do. I'm not sure if they're working with each other or whatnot. It looked like Spoiled tried to get his nose in there to make a pass. But these guys look like they're playing it very conservatively. When that 26 made a pass around TGM Beast, he didn't really try to fight for it. It was more just, okay, I'll let you go. Because this, like I mentioned before, is a tire-saving game. So if a guy is getting faster and wants to push a little bit more, expect to see some of these guys try not to race as hard and try to be like, okay, you go up there and see what you can do, and I'm going to sit back and just see if I can run this run out a little bit longer.
Absolutely, and that goes back to what I said earlier about really taking care of your stuff all the way through to where you can run the full tank out. We'll have to see. Looks like we've got 29 laps left here in stage number 1. Cape out there gifting a couple of subs. Definitely appreciate that, Cape. And, buddy, I was just teasing, but I definitely appreciate that. I see you drop 38 bits. J-Pod drops some as well. Man, these guys, looking at the 98 and the 51 right now. The 98 is Old Pop Bear. 51 is Swats. They've been kind of hanging around. They're after each other just a little bit, but not too bad. I like what they were doing, really backing up their corners and trying to get on after it coming off. But they got to be careful that they don't lose too much time. Not really abusing their stuff. That could, who knows, that could be it. As Experts drops a 1 month sub to Commando Grip. And that starts a hype train, ladies and gents. Thank you very much. Still working our way through, catching up with the 19 right now, and there is that 4. I just saw it a moment ago, and I kind of go back to it right now. I mentioned a couple weeks ago that he was running Superman colors, and now he's actually running the colors of Iron Man. It's the gold and the red, looking pretty good, trying to get past that 19.
You're exactly right. And one guy that I had the privilege of talking to before the race is NNR Cowboy, and we know that he's had some troubles this season. Of course, he's had the suspension. It's not been the best season overall for him. There's been off weeks and stuff like that in which he hasn't performed as well. But overall, the one thing that we know, even when it comes off to playoff time, and we've even seen the great admins and ownership of NNR stress it to the guys over and over again. Hey, even though it's the playoffs, whether you made it in or not, there's still an opportunity to win races here. There's still an opportunity to get your name out there and build something for yourself heading into next year, whether or not NNR returns to console or not. But they're stressing it once again that, hey guys, it's important to make sure that you finish what you started. And luckily enough, here in NNR, we have a 12-car field here today, so a lot of fun, a decently sized pack, and it's going to be a fun one to see how these 12 can shake out at the end of this race.
Man, Vols, you just get better and better, sir. Thank you very much. Giving a 1 month sub to a Lul 48 fan, Rangers 15, Exodus, not quite sure if it's the same Exodus Maverick or not, WC 40250, and wow, that's Garbage. Garbage getting a free sub. How you doing, buddy? Haven't seen you for a little bit, not since iRacing a few days ago, if you're actually out here. Vols, thank you very much, sir. But looking back at this 26 Luna Chevy Silverado, the same Chevy Silverado I drive in the NNR iRacing Truck Series. We ran last night at Charlotte. Came home with a 15th place finish out of 30 cars. Not the worst, not the best, but had some damage that couldn't be fixed up. Definitely looking forward to this week, see how I do at the Glen. That's going to be extremely interesting. But Griff, you talked about the 38 and the lead that he was extending. I mean, you could still see him off the front end of this Silverado, but it's kind of just a little white dot now.
Yeah, and this is going to be interesting coming up on our first set of pit stops. First stage is 45 laps in length. I was talking to some guys that are running a higher preset that can do about 26 to 27 laps on that right rear tire. Some of these guys who are running a lower preset, you're looking at closer to 28 to 29 laps. So it's going to be interesting to me to see when Bowling peels off to hit pit road. My guess is he is up there running a higher preset than some of these other guys, which in turn is going to burn up that right rear a little bit more. But hey, with this first stage only being 45 laps, I would probably run a higher preset myself and try to pull away from these guys.
I'll tell you what, Expert, they've got about 9 laps of fuel in a tank. But oh, by the way, kind of keeping up, I mentioned that it looked like the 98 and the 51, 98 of Pop Air and the 51 of Swats were kind of taking it easy, really rolling out of it early, trying to get back in sooner so they didn't burn up their stuff. Swats only has 9% left on that right rear. This is exactly what I was saying earlier. There is no way these guys are going to make it on their tires. It really is going to be a game of conserving your resources, as the one and only Rick James likes to say.
I was already going down pit road. The one thing to keep in mind is how important short pitting is here at a track like Phoenix. This is more of an intermediate style or a intermediate to short track style track in which, one car goes around on entry. That's going to be the 20 of Spoiled Milk. So that's definitely going to hurt him. But one thing to note, the 26 came in a lap earlier than the 38. The thing is he's going to eat into the 38's gap on exit, or he should, unless he got a penalty, which it looked like he may have. But he'll eat into that gap a little bit if he were to come in naturally. But the big thing is you'll notice the gap in tires here. If you come in earlier compared to later, you'll really have a good short run type of catch up speed. But as soon as you hit that long run pace, it really goes out the window at that point, and you just start losing so much time. So it's a balancing game for these drivers to figure out what works for them and what type of strategy they want to play as we head through stage 1.
Man, well, I tell you what, I was kind of riding around with this 16 Toyota Classic Stu for a while. I thought maybe for a moment that this paint scheme was one that he made in the paint booth, and then I saw the Toyota Susho or whatever that is on the back. I actually kind of like this. It reminds me of a couple of paint schemes I got on some of my tanks in World of Tanks. I'm digging that scheme. Now, Commando Griff, you got a bunch of guys out here in chat saying, man, you belong in the booth. I told you were welcome a long time ago, just like Vols just told Cole 315. You've got a spot to work with Vols anytime you want as well. But you mentioned the presets, starting lower, starting higher. Some might be in the middle, who knows where. With any of your practice, and again, like I've said in the past, don't give anything away. But what do you prefer at a place like Phoenix, where you're going to have to be able to get that car to rotate coming off the corners, especially how sharp they are here? Are you a lower preset and then free it up, or are you higher and then bring it back up just a little bit?
Well, in the practice that I did in preparing for this truck race and for the Xfinity race, Pete, I actually ran a higher preset, significantly higher than some of the other guys I was talking to. And, I prefer that short run speed. If I burn up that right rear tire a little bit quicker, it's not too much of a big deal to me, because I'm only pitting maybe 1 to 2 laps earlier than some of those other guys. And by how these stages fall this week at Phoenix, it's nothing to really worry about strategy-wise. So I'm going to be looking at probably a higher preset to get that car or truck rotating on the bottom of the racetrack.
There you go. Expert, I know that you've run a bunch of laps. I have not raced a ton on Heat 5. If I've actually turned it on and actually headed out on track for a while, you'd be able to count the amount of time I've been on track in hours, not even days. So I know you've got some laps under your belt here as well. What kind of a driver are you? Are you start off lower and work up, or start high and kind of tighten up as the race goes?
I'm the one that other people complain about because I drive like Ryan Newman. But in all seriousness, I'm the guy that tries to... It's really a game of trying to pit as early as you can, in my opinion. You want to keep the fresh tires on there. You want to see what kind of time you can gain on pit road. I've said this time and time again, I've never been the fastest guy, but I'll be the one that will try to beat you on strategy, and I'll be the one that makes it the hardest to pass. And the best thing you can do to make sure nobody can pass you, you got to make sure you're in front of them. And working that pit strategy and short pitting, especially here at Phoenix, that's a big way to do it.
Well, Commander Griff, we are back down to, I should say, just about 11 laps to go here in stage number 1, 38 of bowling. I think I saw more than a cape out there saying, what, forget everything else I said before. Let's throw a different kind of a guessing game out there. How many laps would the 51 of Swats be down by the end of it? 38 of bowling. He's actually closing up on that 51's back bumper. I don't think it's going to be long before he actually goes his first lap down. If that was legit, you can actually see that Rowdy Energy symbol, going into turns 1 and 2 right in front of this Crossley Ford.
Yeah, and Swats is working hard here, trying to stay on the lead lap. And a guy who is rooting him on is Spoiled Milk, right behind that 38. He can see Swats about to go a lap down, and he's saying, please, 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 stay on the lead lap so I can get that lucky dog. Based on how far back Spoiled Milk is here, I believe that spin could have been a right rear tire going down, and he had to repair quite a bit of damage on pit road as well. So Spoiled Milk cheering on Swats in that 51.
Yeah, he's got to be. Expert, yeah, this 51 is right in front. He said that this isn't his best track. And I told him, just take stage 1 to really learn your points. Learn where you got to brake to get, or let it roll off the gas to kind of get in, and then where you're able to get back on the throttle to have it for the long run. So far, 38 has not gotten on by. He made a little bit of contact with his left rear a moment ago, still staying behind this 51, but bowling, he's absolutely digging these bottom lines more than Swats. Swats just a little bit higher, might be trying a little bit more momentum or trying to diamond out the corner.
And that may work. He's really got to try a defensive line to get the most run that he can. Right now, the 38 was able to take that line. And now the battle becomes, and probably the most important battle on track right now, you're about to see this 20 and 51 basically go at it. Because we're nearing about 5 laps to go, if that, around that area right now in stage 1. Neither of these guys want to be 1 lap down when we start stage 2, and I can tell you that 20 is really going to look to try to get around the 51, but as we saw even with the leader right there, if he battled the leader like that just to stay on the lead lap, imagine how hard he's going to battle that 20 to be the lucky dog.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Commando Griff, kind of put yourself in that 51's helmet right now, and who better than to kind of take a few laps around than the 38? Your leader, the fastest on track, your overall points leader, even though everything reset this week. I would imagine he'd try to stay as tucked up underneath the 38's tailgate as possible. Just as you see the 20 get on by, 51's going to try hard back on the inside. He's going to be side by side coming down the backstretch here. Looks like 20 is going to be able to take the spot back. So 20 right now is the first truck 1 lap down. Swats might have to wait just a little bit more.
Yeah, and that's not too shocking. I believe the 51 hit pit road 2 or 3 laps before the 20 did. 20 was one of the last ones to come in, so he's got some of the freshest tires in the field, which is allowing him to stay right up here on the back bumper of the 38 and staying in that 1 lap down position. Coming to the end of this stage, I'm going to be interested to see if anybody has anything for this 38. We know that some of these guys started off on a lower preset than maybe the 38 did. Hopefully, for entertainment's sake, some of these guys got their cars adjusted to be able to keep up with that 38.
Yeah, I can just imagine everybody out there is really they can't wait for the stage break when they've got a full 40 to 45 seconds to really make some changes to these trucks. You know, do a whole lot more with the tires, do a lot more with the wedge, and try to get in what you think you're going to need for the long run. You know, when Swats went on down pit road, there is the end of stage number 1, by the way. When Swats went down pit road, he had like 5% left on that right rear. So, man, good job by him to hold on to it. And great job to all these truckers for a full stage. All caution-free way to get after it. Ladies and gents, we're going to take a quick little break. We're going to grab a cold beverage, and we will be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Hey NNR fans, are you looking for a way to rep your favorite NASCAR Heat Preset League on Xbox Live? Look no further. Just go to nnrleague.com, scroll down to the Zazzle tab, and see what we have to offer. From t-shirts to hoodies to clocks, we have everything you need to show your support. Thanks for being the best fans, and we hope to see you at the track repping that NNR red.
All right, we're back. Definitely appreciate you still hanging out, chatting up, keeping us all company. More and more now sitting just between 15 and 20 out there, watching these guys duel it out in the hot Arizona sun. 38 was your stage 1 winner. Max points go to him. 88 a beast to the outside. 26 of Yeti. The 4 truck of I Am Iron Man. And the 16 back there, a Classic Stew. Expert, that's going to be your top 5. Going back green. Stage 3. Flags in the air. Or stage 2, excuse me.
I was about to say we're not that deep into it yet, but these guys are going to race this restart like we are if it was the start of stage number 3. They know they got to be aggressive. We saw how fast that 38 was able to pull out, and he's going to try to do that once again here as he comes off of turn 4, trying to lead the first lap. But here comes TGM Beast to the inside, side by side. Lap 1 was led by Bowling. Lap 2 may be led by that 88.
Yeah, TGM Beast very, very close to the inside. He's going to be able to be just about door-to-door with him. Depends if he's going to get that throttle down. You got the 26 of Yeti to his inside, going into 3 and 4. That looks like 38's going to be able to hold him off, but Yeti, a big old shove to the tailgate of the 88. There they come through the dog leg. 38's going to be able to take it. Sole possession back to Bowling.
And this is exactly what I was hoping for. I was hoping that some of these guys had gotten their car tuned up, maybe loosened it up so they could run the bottom of the racetrack. But time will only tell if these guys can keep up with the 38. As we see the 26 make a dive to the inside of the 88, using all of that apron down in 3 and 4. The 88, though, prevails off the exit of 4.
Yeah, 88's going to be able to stay right in front of the 26 of Yeti. There behind him, you see the 16 of Classic Stu. He's trying to get up here, get into the mix. They're all single file, a little bit of lag, a little bit of instability in the lobby, but everybody's able to hold on to it. Nobody slammed that outside wall. No damage to him as of yet. Stout Whiskey out there in chat. What's happening, buddy? You're just in time to see the start of stage number 2. The 38 of Bowling dominated stage 1, max points to him so far, but right now it's right behind him for between the 88, the 26, the 4, and the 16. That's your top 5 right now, Expert.
And with all these guys trying to battle it out in the top 5, notice the big gap that the 38 already has, though. The 26 now making contact with the 4 of Iron Man, letting Classic Stu dive underneath him as well to try to pick up a spot. But these guys all battling it out up here like we mentioned before, and the big question was going to be, can these guys work together to make sure that that 38 doesn't get out front? I think we have our answer.
Yeah, Commander Griff, it has been absolutely tight. Whoa, a little bit more instability. Lobby's just shaking, baking every which way but loose. But still, no contact, no harm, no foul. Everybody able to continue on. I didn't see anybody lag out, go down pit road. Everybody's still out there on track. Everybody's still in it for the points. Again, this is just race number 1 of a 6-week stretch to crown this series. This series and this season's NNR champion in the trucks.
And we've got a very tight battle for second place here as the 26 gets into the 88 just a little bit. He's got the 16 all over his tailpipes going into turn number 1 here. It appears to me that the 88 is on a lower preset. He starts off kind of on the quicker side, but then trails off on this long run. Whoa, as you see the 26 bounce off the wall here, and the 88 and the 16 are going to take full advantage of that.
Absolutely, 88 and 16 get on by the 26 of Yeti. Yeti going to try to come on back. It doesn't look like he's got any real damage. As you look at the hood, all the 4 hood pins still sticking straight up. Don't see any, don't see the bumper crushed up or anything like that. It looks like Yeti's still pretty much in it. A little bit of, I'm hearing a little bit of an echo. Not quite sure who that's coming off of, whether that's you, Expert, or Griff. No harm, no foul right now, but definitely be heard. Griff, these guys, I tell you what, behind Bowling is really the race, and that time a little bit more instability. They absolutely went up and cracked that outside wall. Hopefully that wasn't damaged. I know normally if they get damage going down pit road, wrecking through each other to get to their pit stall, that damage doesn't matter. Hopefully what we just saw right there doesn't matter either. This is absolutely, I got to agree with you, Commander Griff. This is a great battle for second.
Yeah, and we have got a comeback in the making here. Look back who is in the 5th position here. That is the 20 of Spoiled Milk. Remember, he was 1 lap down at the end of that stage due to that tire problem when he was coming to pit road. He has rebounded nicely and is looking to battle that 26 car for P4, as I think he might have just given him a little bit of the bumper and sent him up the racetrack.
Yeah, absolutely. Going to be able to cut him through the dog leg 26. He's got a little bit of a pull off that 16, so that might have helped him a little bit more. But that's going to be about it. The 20 of Spoiled Milk definitely seems like it's handling just a little bit better. And you got to remember, Expert, he was able to get up there and really contend for a solid finish earlier until he spun it out either by cutting down a tire or just flat losing it under braking. This is definitely the best battle on track right now. Second really after it as well.
Yeah, and these 4 basically you can put a blanket over them as these guys are battling. These 2 battles could easily become one But this 26 and 20 are battling really freaking hard together. We've seen it all season, how hard this 26 will race some guys. And he's proven it right here. A crossover, the 20 was going to be able to clear him. That 26 pulls over and does a crossover right there in 3 and 4. And now he's going to be looking to clear him off into 1 and 2. And that 20 is going to go right back with it. Give him a taste of his own medicine. He's going to pull a crossover. He's going to let up those so he doesn't make contact. 26 going to be able to clear him for the spot, but I don't think that's going to last for long. Wait for that 20 to get back up there.
Yeah, Commander Griff, now not only are the 20 and the 26 going after it, now all of a sudden this Hooters Silverado, he's kind of creeping in. This old Krabby Soup sitting back there, so you got 26 Yeti, the 20 Spoiled Milk, Krabby Soup trying to work his way into P5, and just behind them you see the 19 of NNR Cowboy working into P6. So down the backstretch, going back into turns 3 and 4, it's still any man's fight for third on back.
Yeah, and Krabby Soup entered this playoff in the 10th position, 49 points back behind Bowling. Obviously, at the moment, not making up any of those points, but having a pretty solid run here as he gets to the back bumper of the 20. Looking in the chat, Pete, I see more than a Cape saying that he thinks these guys are using their stuff up, and I have to 100% agree with him. Bowling has got this thing on cruise control. With these guys going at it at the way they are, I would not be shocked if Bowling continues to open up this lead to a straightaway or maybe even half a track over second place.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he had a pretty big lead over second place at the end of stage 1, and that was before anybody had a real chance to go on in and make some real big adjustments to their truck. So I would imagine, Bowling spent a little bit of time here on Heat 5, just like he did over on iRacing this last week, to prepare for the race. Bowling said it in the beginning of the year, and I know I've repeated it a few times. Excuse me. He wanted to do this championship thing the right way. Go to trucks. And he called it very, very early in the season tweet that he was going to win this championship. And man, so far, I mean, all season long, he's been the most dominant. Here he is one more time, max stage points in stage 1. So far, stage 2 looks like it's going to fall Bowling's way as well. But man, stage 3 is where, that's the stage that pays all the money, figuratively and literally, judging by all the conversation out there in chat. If anybody can go up there and beat Bowling, they got some cash waiting for them. So, man, expert, it's all on a line in more ways than one.
You're exactly right. And the one thing, if Bowling doesn't want to lose this race, he has to make sure that he stays focused. He can't be going up here in the lead and falling asleep on us. He can't be doing none of that. And I think you know something about that, Pete, on a way to keep him awake, alert, and focused up there in the lead.
No, man, I tell you what, all these cans right here, man, they have nothing to do with keeping me awake. Trust me. Yeah, right. Anyway, yeah, guys and gals, go on over to repsports.com. That is the home of Raise Energy. Man, I tell you what, you need a little pick-me-up during the day. Like today, after work, normally I go ahead and take a nap. I popped a grape-flavored Raise Energy drink, and I've been up all day. I did a bunch of yard work. I helped my wife get some of her stuff done out in the sunroom for her plants and decorations. Helped her plant a tree in the back. Man, I tell you what, I've been all over the place, and I haven't come down because there is no crash after these beverages. The grape Raise Energy tastes like grape bubblegum. No lie, it's phenomenal. Go on over repsports.com, place an order for yourself. Grab a case, grab a sampler, grab whatever you want. And when you're going through checkout, put in promo code REPEAT1975. I'm going to go ahead and automatically take 15% off the top. And man, I definitely appreciate the support. And you're gonna love what you get as well. Still riding right here with that 4 of I Am Iron Man. He's able to get on by the 19 of NNR Cowboy. and we're starting to see bigger and bigger gaps. And oh, by the way, oh no, there goes Krabby Soup. He just got ran into after he got collected by the inside wall, got a little loose, and caution number 1 is going to be out. We got a full course caution with 19 laps remaining. Commando Griff, I didn't see that coming, but it looked like the 24 got loose under braking or popped the tire. I didn't see where Swats or Cowboy or any of those guys were as far as their right rear or right front.
Yeah, and Phoenix isn't really known to have a whole lot of cautions, so that one caught me off guard. And who else that got caught off guard was the 16 of Classic Stu. Unfortunately, I believe he was trying to split that stage in half. He had already made his pit stop and gone a lap down, so tough break for the 16 of Classic Stu.
Man, very, very tough break. I tell you, to see the 24 of Krabby make a mistake like that is very, very unlike him. So I'm going to guess that there was a tire issue there. But the 88 of Beast, 38 of Bowling, 26 of Yeti, 20 of Spoiled Milk, and I'm not quite sure who was right there in P number 5, but Expert, back green, 88's up front.
He was able to take the lead off of pit road. Not sure if he originally pitted or whatnot, but he tries to slide job into the corner, and that 38 says, see you later. Passport's already booked, everything, I'm gone. But these guys are going to try to reel him back in, but they're now 3 wide for second.
Yeah, three wide right behind him. They were. Now there's a side by side, 2 rows deep, as if they just took the green. Going to kind of work on back to the 26 of Yeti. There's the 20 of Spoiled Milk. Commando Griff pointed out that he was a lap down at the end of stage 1. Here he is now battling to the inside. 26 of Yeti. Spoiled Milk could have P2 all to himself. 3 wide behind the 20.
And a heck of a battle for this top 5 position here as we are closing in on the end of stage 2. But check out that blue and black car that has moved up into the mix. That is the 19 of NNR Cowboy moving into P number 4. We haven't really seen him up here all day, so it's nice to see those blue and white safe light colors up here. Trying to go for P number 3 is the 26, catches that inside wall.
Yeah, catch the inside wall, 3 wide right now, 88 of Beast, 26 of Yeti, 19 of Cowboy. All this going on behind the 20 and behind the 38. 38's got to be loving what he's seeing. Let these guys go ahead and battle it out. The more they do that, the more they run side by side, the more they run 3 wide, Expert. That means these guys are not all on the throttle like they need to be in order to try to catch up to that 38, take the lead from them. Good luck with that. But, try to get some laps led under their belt. But J-Pod just did point out a little bit of dropping a little bit of information. Beast did just lead 2 laps.
Technically, yes. Technically. And I know Kate probably doesn't want to listen to the technicalities right now. But technically, you are correct. But one thing that these guys want to do is they want to lead some laps under green here. We're talking about guys like Spoiled Milk, who's currently sitting right here in second. Griff mentioned it earlier. You just mentioned it right here. He came back from being the lucky dog at the stage 1 break to now sitting here in P number 2 and is probably looking to catch his pretty much, I say, his rival or one of his biggest competitors all year in NNR Bowling up there in the lead. These guys have had great battles throughout the time that I've been up here in the booth alongside you, Pete. And I'd expect, either going down the stretch if we get another caution, or heck, maybe at the start of stage 3, this 20 and 38 might lock horns again.
Man, we'll have to absolutely see. I mean, even J-Pod just said it, that 20 is on a mission. And I've got to agree. He had a very, very fast car in the beginning. Now, a long stage break followed by a full track caution. That's given them all, a good minute and 20 seconds besides the green flag pit stop to do what they needed to do with their car. If they don't have it set up by now, Griff, what else do they need? Or what do you think that they're feeling so far in order to be able to go the distance, or maybe try to get up there and contend with Bowling?
At this point, you're going to need a miracle, Pete, or you're going to need that 38 to cut down a tire or something. He is on a mission. He's got that car on rails. Riding along here with the 38. Watch how he enters turn number 3 and 4 here. Working his way down the back straightaway. He enters turn 3 and 4, tucked right on that yellow line, a little bit underneath it. That is where all the fast cars are going to be, okay? Off the corner of 3, underneath the dog leg here, down the back straightaway. Now, turns 1 and 2 are actually a little bit banked different than 3 and 4. So he didn't miss the corner. He's riding that yellow line. It's the fastest way around this joint. Tell you what, I don't think there's any way this competition finds a way to beat the 38. If they're going to do it is if that 38 beats himself.
Yeah, I mean, even in the, the real races, they talk about cars going down below the banking because there's more grip down there. There's also, if you get two on the track, 2 on the apron, you're also talking about helping the truck rotate. So that's why another reason why the 38 has 2 tires below that yellow line. Really able to get that Crossley forward to get through these corners. And it seems like it's effortlessly. I'd love to be a fly on his gauges to see what his tire wear is like and see if he's saving any fuel or see if he's doing anything else. I can tell you right now, earlier in stage 1 while riding on board with the 51 of SWATs, his tires were tore up. Right now they're just about completely even. 22 laps left in the tank. His right sides are 62 and 62. His left sides are 76 and 76. So I think he might have figured something out. If it's going to be like that on the long run or not, expert, we'll have to wait and see. But I think they might have found a way to get them to kind of equalize.
Yeah, and that all works with pressures and what these guys can do. But coming down the stretch, I believe it's going to be white flag this time by for stage number 2. Don't quote me on that, but like I said, I believe it's either going to be 2 to go or white flag this time by. And the important thing for these guys is to make the right adjustments. You can mess with your tire pressures and everything like that, but we saw in the beginning run, the 88 was able to get up there a little bit and challenge the 38, but the 38 was able to pull away. It's all about consistency in setting your truck up to be able to be good, not just on the short run, but the middle one and the long run. Finding that consistency will lead to putting that truck in victory lane, and we're seeing that with Bowling here tonight.
Yeah, working my way back up to Bowling right now. Going to go ahead and grab a lap count here right quick. Looks like as SWATs comes across the start stripe, that's actually going to be the end of the stage. So it kind of got taken away just a little bit. But yeah, 38 of Bowling, stage number 2, all in his name. Looks like Spoiled Milk in that 20. He was turning it on. P2, TGM Beast 3rd, Yeti 4th, Krabby Soup 5th, Iron Man, Classic Stew, SWATs, Cowboy, and Papa Bear round out your top 10. Not too shabby here, Commando Griff. I'm really curious now. That 20, he doesn't have any more traffic to get through. Can he contend with the 38 now for stage 3? What say you?
Well, I look at this final stage one of 2 ways, Pete. The final stage is 57 laps in length. Okay, if these guys can go roughly 26 to 28 laps on their tires, I heard some guys flirting with 29. With this stage being 57 laps long, if you take 57 and divide it by 2, that gives you 28 and a half. You could potentially see somebody try to pull the old strategy, save those right rear tires, and try to make this a one-stop stage. Heck, I think that's the only way you're going to be able to beat Bowling at this point.
Well, I'm not quite sure what happened there, if the 20 was caught sleeping or not. The 88 of Beast and the 26 of Yeti, they're all over the back bumper of that Crossley Ford. A little bit of contact between the top, between second and third, still right there with Bowling. And now the 20, he's tucked all over the back end of Beast. Here comes some more. Man, Expert, they're all after. They're fighting tooth and nail to try to stay right there with Bowling, so he cannot escape. But the more they stay, I can't talk now. The more they stay side by side, the further away he's going to get.
And that's the one thing, and it's frustrating for me up here, and I know it's frustrating for some of these guys in there. Just like, okay, if he stops passing me, I can catch him. I can get up there. If we stop getting side by side, I can get up there. I can try to catch him, move him out of the way, or get side by side with him. Something to try to stall his momentum. And right as I say that, the 20 goes airborne. Multiple cars in the back. That's going to be a multi-car wreck. The 20 involved. I believe the 98 and the 13 is going to be involved as well. Not too sure. A bunch of guys, though, we do know involved back there in a wreck. It's going to be interesting to see if we get a caution.
Well, I think that all happened right there in front of the 51 of SWATs. So if two or more cars were involved, they'll go ahead and slow it up, and bring out that manual caution. They just got back to the line. So far, everybody's staying under green. No show is slowing, Griff.
Yeah, and something to clean up there on that last stage there. I believe there was a fierce battle going on between the 16 and some of those other guys for the lucky dog. I believe the 16 ended up prevailing there and getting back on the lead lap. But talk about heartbreak for the 20. If this race stays green, this race is essentially over. As you see him battling back here with the 13 car, especially after making such a great comeback from blowing that tire at stage 1. Heartbreak to see the 20 back here.
Yeah, 20 back here with the 13 of Garrett, and yeah, he's got all kinds of damage on this raised on blacktop Silverado. It's like kind of a nice paint scheme, but yeah, he definitely had the speed to contend. Just wrong place, wrong time, wrong people to be around. He really wanted to be around that 38 expert.
You're exactly right. A lot of guys up here that look to be competitive, especially if they were able to get side by side with them on restarts, are just now losing them. I'm looking at the 26 of Yeti, the 88 of Beast, like we mentioned, the 20 of Spoiled Milk. He's showing speed to get up here, of course. A lot of great drivers just not being able to catch him, and like Griff has said multiple times, it looks like this could be the 38's race, and I'm going to go ahead and say my pick's the 38. I know, shocker. But but the 38, I just don't think,
way to go out
like
there on
Griff
a limb.
said, the Vegas, I just broke the Vegas odds, okay? There we go, all right? I just broke the odds right there. But NNR Bowling, there's no way he's going to end up losing this race unless a late race caution happens. He makes a mistake, beats himself. But the rest of these guys, they got to keep their head up. They got to realize, hey, I'm still battling for points here. And hey, even if I don't get a good finish, you can go to my favorite website, nnrleague.com, where you can find all the great and awesome gear that NNR provides, as far as everything from clothing apparel to tags to the fastest coffee mugs around. Anything with the Zazzle tab in, you can also catch up on any information as far as the point standings, keeping up with that here in the playoffs, and seeing what races are next and who has won this season. So be sure to go check out nnrleague.com. We haven't touched on it yet, but Pete, I actually got some work apparel for tonight that I'm modeling right now, so it's working out pretty well.
We don't want to see your NNR thong. I'm glad you're not on. I'm glad you're not on computer. No, man, I know you got a couple of nice NNR polos. You got one with the classic red, and of course the brand new NNR blue for the iRacing side, just like your license plate decals as well. One for the NNR red and one for the new iRacing side as well. But yeah, man, I'm sure Coey appreciates it. I saw what you did in your Experts of Racing podcast room to make all that look pretty good. Yeah, you're getting it all together. Any suggestions for an energy drink? J-Pa wants to know. J-Pa, I tell you what, you see this R, like right here. Where are we at here? Where are we at? Let's see if I can get it. Yeah, there's R that's right here, right there. You see that R? Yeah, that one right there. Go to repsports.com and look under products, look at Ray's energy drink, and I promise you, you're going to love it. No doubt in my mind. order yourself a case of the Sampler 1, Sampler 2, or the Sampler 3. 12 cans, 4 different kinds, 3 cans of each. Amazing stuff. I actually cracked a can of the grape bubblegum earlier today. Normally I take a nap after work. Not today. Got a whole bunch of work done in the yard, and I'm still going. So go on over, grab yourself a case. At checkout, put in promo code REPEAT1975. As I said earlier, I'll take 15% right off the top, and you'll enjoy yourself a great pick-me-up when you need it. Vols out there, raiseenergy.com. Use promo code REPEAT1975. You got that right. 38 of bowling, though. I tell you what, Griff, it doesn't look like he needs any kind of a pick-me-up whatsoever. This man's still on a tear.
No, Pete, that guy's got Rays in his gas tank, and he is just taking off away from these guys. But we do have a new third-place car. I've been keeping an eye on kind of our top 3, and Krabby Soup has just pulled into the 3rd position and is kind of scooting away from that 4th-place truck. So good to see Krabby Soup up here in the top 3. He entered these playoffs in the 10th position and looking to score some much-needed points to move himself up in those standings.
Yeah, Krabby, all season long, he's actually been really strong. He's ended up in the top 3 a few times. Actually, I still have the truck standings over here, and when I look at Krabby Soup, he's got a pole. He's got I just saw that he's got 8 top 5s and 20 top 10s. So yeah, he's been pretty strong all season, trying to wrap this up. Maybe get into the top 3, top 5 when it's all said and done. But man, it's in case nobody's gone over to NNRLeague.com, you're wondering who your championship contenders are. Obviously, bowling, he's got a mess of playoff points. You're looking at TGM Beast, Krabby Soup, NNR Swats, NNR Cowboy, NNR Chevy. Then you've got Classic Stew, Papa Bear, Mike T, Spoiled Milk, Yeti, and then I Am Iron Man. Those are your 12 drivers going for this championship. So after this week, there's only 5 weeks left. So you need to get as many points as you can, as fast as you can, get as far of a lead as you can, because man, bowling called a shot in the beginning of the season. He was going to win a championship this year. So far, he's been right on point.
And Pete, not to speak out of turn here real quick, but I think it's important to highlight there are only 2 guys in this entire truck field who have made every single race this year. I want to give a big shout out to NNR Papa Bear, has made all 24 starts. Same with Krabby Soup. I know for a fact those admins dig consistent drivers. So kudos to Papa Bear and kudos to Krabby Soup.
Absolutely. There are very, very few that have actually made every single race. In fact, no, you're right. You're dead on. Those are the only 2 that have made every single race. Bowling, Beast, looks like Chevy, and that's about it. Are the ones right behind them at 22. This will be 23, and of course Krabby and Papa Bear, this will be their 25th race. So yeah, right on. They have been here for every single race all season long. And you know what, even if you don't finish strong, if you show up every week, you still got a chance when it's all said and done.
Speaking of a chance, guys, battle for the lead. The 26 is caught up to the 38, and he is all over his back bumper.
How about that old Yeti? Here he comes. You figure he's caught bowling. It hasn't been by draft or anything like that. He's just got a better running truck. He absolutely plows that throttle coming off the corner. He's able to get in as you see him dive underneath the 38. I think his truck, maybe he just wore it down. And now the 26, he's going to go on and lead his first laps. Yeti to the lead.
I'm not taking anything away from the 26 that just took the lead from the 38. But guys, did you notice how the 38 moved to the top of the racetrack and let that 26 go? To me, it looks like that 38 is trying to save a little bit of right rear tire and potentially make this a one-stop race in Stage 3. Keep an eye on that strategy.
You know what? I tell you what, expert. Sorry, Cole 315 just put the same exact thing out there in chat, saving them tires. Again, I'd love to see exactly what he's got going on. I talked about Swats earlier. Right now, Swats, his right front's at 26, right rear at 17 with 10 laps to go. I don't think he's going to make it there on fuel. All these guys are going to have to come on down for tires before it's all said and done. But it could be going back to what Commando Griff said earlier. If they can do it right down mid-stage, if they can save just enough to make it to the middle of Stage 3, that could be the ultimate strategy, expert. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, no, 100%. I was going to say the exact same thing. I completely concur with Commando Griff. He's been right about this the entire time. And you know my favorite phrase when it comes to racing. Fuel conservation. Well, now it's going to be tire conservation. These guys, how long can they go on these tires, and can they make it stretch to that one-stop strategy? Right now, the 26 going down and pitting the 38 is going to resume the lead here, and he has yet to pit. Expect in the next few laps, though, as these guys try to complete the cycle, but he could be on that one-stop strategy like Griff was talking about.
Going to try to catch back up. Looks like 20 is Spoiled Milk. He's going to make his stop right now. Come on down, fix up, or maybe not fix up, depending on what kind of lap times he was still able to run with that little bit of damage that we saw to his hood. Or do you go ahead and fix it with 30 laps to go? Commando Griff, this might be a little early. I think we were talking about 27 laps. He's going to have about 30 to go when he comes back out. I don't think they're going to be able to do that on that right rear or that right front.
Yeah, and your magic number is 28 laps. If you can go 28 laps either in the first part of this stage or in the second part of the stage, you're going to be good to go. As we see the 38 finally peeling off and headed to pit road, I believe he is probably one of the last ones to pit, although looking at our lap count, it's still going to be close on that right rear. I'm not sure if even the 38 is going to be able to accomplish that task.
Well, I'll tell you what, I talked about that 51. I talked about him really having some tire issues, and here he is, and he's got a blown right rear. So very, very unfortunate for Swats. He spun it out on his stream right now. You see that right rear just smoking. It's gone up. It's ripping that fender apart and all that, as you normally see in an actual race. Very, very unfortunate for that 51. He said he was going to be in the back most of the night, not one of his favorite tracks, but very unfortunate for him. 29 laps to go. This is going to put him at least 1 or 2 laps down.
Right now, looking at the 26 is going to get back the lead, and one thing I know Griff is doing his calculations right now. The 38 came in 2 laps after the 26. Now, many people are going to think, okay, it's a pit cycle. It's 2 laps. I mean, no biggie, right? Griff, I know you're a big driver in the Xfinity Series, and you're going to race tomorrow night. Go ahead and explain the difference that 2 laps can make here on fresh tires when it comes to Phoenix, as well as trying to be able to stretch it.
Well, unfortunately, expert, I learned that lesson the hard way at some of these tracks earlier this season. I noticed guys splitting the stage in half, and I thought, hey, I'll just run it out. Run out those tires, have fresh tires for the end of the run. Boy, was I mistaken. I had fresh tires, but there comes a point where the tires begin to equalize, and you begin losing that time that you were gaining on them. So I like the idea of the 26 coming ahead of the 38. And looking back, the 38 is entering turn 1 right now. 26 cars halfway down the back straightaway. It's going to be interesting here. Can the 38 reel in the 26, or is tire strategy going to be part of this equation?
Right now, keeping an eye out, one guy who's probably going to be going a lap down right here. It's going to be the 20th, Spoiled Milk. He's right in front of the leader of the 26. He's going to go 1 down. And once again, it's just heartbreaking to see after that wreck that happened earlier. You know he's going to be praying to get a lap back, but he tried making a race on the outside of that 26, just couldn't get it done, and still trying to deal with that damage that he received earlier. And we all know we were pulling up here. I believe, Pete, that was your pick. He just didn't get the lucky hand here tonight.
No, not at all. He ended up spinning out, going down the pits. Again, not quite sure if he popped a tire or lost it when getting on the binders to slow it up to go down pit road. But man, I gotta point something out, and I'm not sure if y'all were watching the 26 at the same time I just was when he was battling the 20, or putting the 20 another lap down. He was underneath the yellow line on the apron all the way through the corners. He wasn't above the yellow line at all going through 3 and 4, coming back to the start stripe. He was below all the way through. That's gotta wear some havoc on his tires, at least on his right side. If Bowling catches up to him later, this 26 might be kicking himself in the pants, saying, why did I push so hard when I really didn't have to? I needed to manage that time a little bit better.
And speaking of catching the 26 sooner than later, that 38 is coming, guys. He is reeling in the 26 a little bit each lap. Remember, he is on 2 laps fresher tires, if you will, than that 26, and he's making them work here late at Phoenix.
Yeah, across the line that time, as soon as, let's see, catching up now with NNR Cowboy as he comes across the start stripe right in front of the 51 of SWAT. It's going to show exactly 22, so double deuce in the air. And, 26 in the lead, 38 is sitting in P2. 51's got all kinds of damage after popping that right rear going down pit road. Will the 38 be able to catch him, or will the 26 go ahead and notch that win very, very early here in the first race towards that championship? Man, after the points are reset, it could still be anybody's race, but man, this 38's got a pretty big lead right now. Pretty big lead as far as points go, expert. Sorry, I want to make sure that I made that clear. As far as points go, he's got a big lead right now, sitting P2 on the track.
And we talked about that all season, him coming in here with a big points lead, heading into the playoffs, that he basically had one hand on the title. And the one thing that he has to do to be able to hold that championship and make sure that it actually becomes his to finish out the rest of the season is to be consistent. We've seen that all night. He's basically got max points. Both stage 1, stage 2 came in the pole winner, and now he's sitting here in P number 2 with the chance to go up there and get the lead. So the big question is what type of strategy will allow him to do that? And of course, can he maintain that consistency throughout the playoffs? He did it all throughout the regular season. I don't see why he couldn't do it in the playoffs either.
No, I don't either. And Commando Griff, you said something about the 38 getting closer and closer, starting to run down this 26. He's sitting right behind the 13 of Garrett right now. But if you look backwards from this Luna Silverado, I don't see that white and red Crossley hood anywhere behind first place right now. As it looks like Garrett had a little bit of an issue, blocked the leader, tried to stay on that lead lap. Going to go ahead and pull high, door to door. That's just going to help anybody behind him. But it looks like Yeti is going to be able to go on up and get past Garrett. No real issue. Got a little hairy right there, but all good.
Absolutely, and that is exactly what that 38 needed, was for the 13 to kind of race the 26. I'm riding on board with the 38, and he can see the 26 car. 26 gets to the end of the straightaway, and then the 38 gets at the beginning of the straightaway. But it is so tough to tell, and this is where I kind of wish we had some telemetry that we could look at. I can't tell if the 38 is still trying to save his stuff for the end of this run, if he's trying to make it all the way to the end, or if he is really pushing these tires, trying to go up there and race that 26.
Expert, did you say that the 26 went in a lap or two before the 38?
Yes, sir, he did. He short pitted him by about a lap or two.
So, Commando Griff, Do you think that's why the 26 has really been pushing it? The 38 doesn't really seem to be at all challenging for the lead. He's a good quarter of the track behind Yeti right now. So could that really be it? Will Yeti be so short on that right rear or the right front that he can't make it? He's going to have to come down for tires, giving it back to the 38. But then again, we talked about, or you mentioned that magic number is right around 28. The 38 went on with 30 to go. So, man, he's got to be playing that saving game, hoping that the 26 has really just been pushing his stuff, and he's going to end up popping something or coming on down pit road.
And I think I just got my answer, Pete. I'm right on board with the 38. He let that 19 of, the 19.
Cowboy.
Yes, thank you. 19 of Cowboy go on by. He hasn't really reeled in this 20 either of Spoiled Milk. And, I mean, we've clearly seen him be able to catch the 20 car with his issues that he's had. I truly believe that the 38 is attempting to save that right rear. Now, with that being said, I absolutely love the position that the 26 is in right now. You put that 38 on offense, okay? You go up there, you race your race. If you have to pit with, say, 3 to go, 4 to go, take right sides, I love it. Put the 38 in a situation where he has to do a little bit of saving or conservation.
Well, Expert, just watched the 13 of Garrett go on down pit road for his final stop. Probably just maybe, right side tires. Nah, forget that. I'd have to go ahead and take all 4. Only a splash, or maybe not even that. Next time Cowboy or the 51 of SWATs come on by the start stripe, I'll grab a lap count one more time. We've got to be winding down. I don't know exactly what it's going to be. Last time I checked, the double twos were in the air, and as the 51's going to be the first one there, it looks like 11 laps. So we went from 22 down to 11. We cut it in half. 38 still. Man, I gotta agree with what you're saying, Commando Griff. He has been rolling, just rolling through. He's not pushing it at all. He's letting the car just glide through the corners, get back on the throttle, coming off. He's not wearing out that right front or that right rear at all. I mean, you don't see him. He's flattening out the curves to quote an old Dukes of Hazzard song. I mean, he's doing everything that he can to try to get these tires to go all the way through. NNR Coey out there in chat. What's up, buddy? How are you?
Guys, one thing I would focus on, we talked about how some guys were letting different guys go and stuff like that, how Cowboy got let go by a few guys to go up there and race. There's somebody he's catching. And I just want to point something out. There's a little bit of history between him and this guy he's catching. So I don't want to start anything. I don't want to put anything in anyone's mind. I'm just saying there's a possibility that somebody might get raced a little extra hard if they don't let him by.
We talking about the 26 and the 16 up here?
I'm talking about the 26 and the 19 that's catching him.
Ah, gotcha. Let me go on back through. Got a little bit of that feedback back in the stream again. Not quite sure who that is, but I'm gonna find. There's a 24 of Krabby Soup back on pit road. There's Pop Bear 13 of Garrett 50. There's 4. There's okay. So here's the 19 of Cowboy. Looks like looks like Cowboy went. He got on by. 26 smartly saw the 19 coming on those 4 brand new Eagle Feel Goods, and there'd be no reason to hold him up. Cowboy had his talk with Coey. They let that go. Cowboy's gonna go on. He got at least one of his laps back. I don't think he was more than 1 back, but good job by him. Man, I'm really curious. Now 6 laps to go. Cape out there saying my money is safe as well. So he's saying nobody's going to go ahead and take that. Silent, what's up, buddy? Good to see you out there in chat. Definitely welcome back. Hope your job and your traveling's treating you well. It's been a little while, sir. But
Pete, we got the 26 on pit road here.
There it is. So now this is gonna be all. Where is he at? Where's he at? Where's that 38? Trying to catch back up to him.
Start finish line at this point.
There we go. Okay, so Bowling now. Bowling, he is the leader. He's coming up closer and closer to the 51, and others, nobody anywhere near him. So, did a second, third, or fourth place guy go on in earlier, take tires? Will they be able to run down this 38? Now just 4 laps to go, and that's per Swat sitting back there in P8. The guy in fourth place, Classic Stu, just got by him. So yeah, well, this gap that the 38 has, man, I think he might have ran a perfect race here, fellas. Checkers, flag to flag all the way through, both, all 3 stages. Bowling's just been he's been the one to beat, not only tonight, but all season long, expert.
You're exactly right, and with 2 laps to go now, this really sets the standard for him in this playoff. And contention for a title. If he is able to complete these final 2 laps and put that 38 in victory lane, he really sets himself up well heading down the stretch. Of course, we had the reset for the points, and now NNR Bowling is looking to make sure he gets back to the lead he once was. As we actually, that's going to be it. I think the 38 just crossed the line. I think it's now confirmed. NNR is your winner here tonight at Phoenix.
Yeah. I mean, and I tell you, this guy right here, Bowling. Congratulations to NNR Bowling to grabbing the first playoff race in dominant fashion. This is gonna absolutely take any kind of wind any of these other truckers may have had left in their sails, and he just crushed it. So big congratulations to NNR Bowling, knocking it out of the park one more time. Not only taking a win, but taking all 3 stages. He's gonna go ahead and add a little bit more to that season total, going towards that first ever NNR championship. Congratulations, Bowling! Your winner tonight at Phoenix. Second place looks like it's going to be TGMB's Papa Bear bringing home a top 3. How about that? Classic Stu 4th, Yeti 5th, and he was the last car. He was the first car 1 lap down. So that's going to be the way the cookie crumbles. Let's go on back out of this. I don't want to go on to the next track. Ladies and gents, we're going to be right back. Please, by all means, keep it right here. We'll have our top 3 in the booth. Talk about their race and maybe what they could have done to get back to that 38. All right, big thanks for everybody still coming out, hanging out, chatting it up, keeping it right here. Got our top 3. How about driver 98, old Pop Bear here, sitting P number 3. He came into the booth absolutely ecstatic, saying it's kind of like a win. And of course, Swats was pretty quick to point out, hey, Pop Bear, guess what? You got a win earlier this season at Daytona. But Pop Bear, to get it done here at Phoenix, very tough, very technical track where you gotta not only get it around on speed, but you gotta watch your tires as well. Talk us through your race, talk us through your stage finishes, and at what point did you reach back in that strategy bag and say, you know what, I think I can get this a great finish if I do, and then you fill in the blanks. Talk us through your race, please.
I'm just tickled to be here, guys. Thanks. No, it's at the beginning of the stages, my car was very tight. And it wasn't coming around. I knew it wasn't going to come around until halfway through the stage. And when it came halfway through the stage, I was able to ride the bottom, almost hitting that pit lane. And I was a little worried about hitting that pit, getting down a little too low and it shooting me down in the pits. But my car was able to, halfway through the run, be able just to hold it right on the bottom, and I was able to run these guys down. But then when I was in 5th, I was like, well, I'll take 5th. And then I seen somebody, I forget who it was, pitted, and I ended up in 4th. I was like, well, shoot, that's even better yet. And then when I seen Madritz spin around, I was like, ooh. I was catching him, and then I don't know what happened to him, and I just took off with 3rd, and we were that far in the stage where I was able to keep holding that bottom just to stay in that position.
Well, man, it's going to be some pretty... Where'd you finish in the first couple stages?
I think first stage was 8th, and the second one I think was 9th.
Well, man, I'll tell you what, an 8th place and 9th place, but where where the points pay the most, right here at P3 and an overall finish, not a bad way to kick off this 6-race stretch going towards the championship. Papa Bear, big congrats. Even Rock NASCAR is out there saying congrats, Papa Bear, on your podium finish. I can't echo that enough. Congratulations, sir. Any shout-outs from the one and only Papa Bear?
Shout out to everybody here at NNR, UP, Rock. I mean, everybody at NNR. You all are my family, and this is my racing family, and I just love racing with you guys, and it's nice to be up here with the top 2.
There you go. Ladies and gents, driver 98, Pop Bear, P3. Oh, Mr. Commando Griff, I believe you got this this other hashtag JPaw Militia driver. I think you got Beast, yeah?
I do, Pete, and Beast, before tonight's race, we were up here in the booth picking drivers that were going to win this thing, and I had my money on you. Came up just one spot short. What did you need to go up there and chase down Bowling?
More speed, maybe some jet fuel in my tank. No, really, even with the strategy and going a lap further than Bowling on that pit stop, Bowling just had too much speed for me. Nothing I could really do to catch up to him.
And you and I had debated before the race whether a tighter preset was the way to go or a looser preset. Tell me a little bit about what you did and whether or not it paid off for you.
Yeah, it was a little tight. Made some adjustments to loosen it up for the first 2 stages, but once we got to the last one, I tightened it up a little bit more. Kind of like in between where I was the base preset and my original adjustments. Probably could have gone a little tighter to help the right front, but yeah, tight probably is the way to go to save that right rear.
Absolutely. Well, it's good to see you back up here in the top 3, making yourself consistent. Any shout-outs for tonight?
JPaw Militia, first and foremost. You guys up in the booth, Pete, Expert, Griff. You guys do a great job every week. And then shout out to Coey for, keeping No Name Racing going.
Absolutely. Well, I think, Expert, you have got our top guy and our current points leader in NNR Bowling.
Yeah, and we picked this guy at the end of stage 2. We broke the odds in Vegas. We probably won big money because nobody had any idea this guy was going to win, right? No, this guy swept everything today. The pole, stage 1, stage 2, and the race win. He had a little bit of competition up there with the 26 for a bit, but of course, strategy won overall. Mr. NNR Bowling, how are you able to be so dominant here tonight? And what does this mean for your outlook on trying to go after that truck title, winning the first playoff race?
Phoenix is one of my favorite tracks to race on this game. Actually, that was the first time I raced it in the trucks on this game. But I really enjoy it. It's a fun technical track. I love technical tracks, short tracks, Richmond, Bristol, Dover, all these tracks, Iowa. This one just fits right into my playbook there. And I mean, it showed the truck was on rails the whole night. Stage 3 had to play a little tire strategy game. I mean, I could have jumped out to probably a real huge lead, maybe even lapped the whole field, but decided to do it on one stop instead of going for the 2 stops, and that's how we played it out, and it worked in my favor.
Well, I mean, did it ever? And of course, this sets you up pretty well heading into the rest of the playoffs. We know your ultimate goal was to win that truck title. What does this win mean as far as momentum going forward? And of course, to finish it out, any shout outs for you?
This is a huge win to start out the playoffs with the win. Knowing that I come into Watkins Glen at a disadvantage, being on a wheel compared to a controller, that's huge. So I guess I couldn't have asked for a better track to start out the playoffs with. I'd like to give a shout out to you guys up in the booth here, week in, week out. You guys do a fantastic job. Going through the field, checking all of the drivers. Huge shout out to Papa Bear for coming in P3 there. I for one wasn't expecting it, but he ran a good race. He played his cards right and ended up where he needed to end up at the end there. Good stuff.
Definitely, and I think, Pete, it's that time of the night. We got to be able to close it out. Go ahead and send us off.
And I tell you what, Phoenix International Raceway, very, very technical. Next week, though, bowling just led us right to it. Watkins Glen International, race number 2 of this 6-week stretch for the playoffs. You want to talk about technical? Just from the drop, getting woed up going into turn 1, coming up through the S's, just narrowing up for maybe 2 trucks. If you're lucky, whether you're on a wheel, whether you're on a controller, who's got the advantage? Going down that backstretch, getting it woed up one more time, keeping at least 2 wheels on the track at all times, going through the bus stop, going through the carousel, hauling all you can down that backstretch. Second to last, very, very sharp 90-degree turn in the second to last turn, and then of course turn 6, turn 7, turn 9, turn 12, I don't know, to complete a lap. 2 90-degree turns in a row. We've seen some people get a little loose to complete that lap. Is that what we'll see next time? We've seen others, when that has happened, can you tell I'm excited about all this? Not only that Ray's energy is really pumping through me. But we've seen people get loose coming off that last turn, and it forces them down pit road, or they end up going into those water barrels. So it's gonna be very, very interesting. Some people say the road courses are their best shot. And I tell you what, the 51 of SWAT, he called this his best shot to win like last week or 2 weeks ago. He said, when we get to the Glen, that's where I'm getting my win. So we'll have to see. SWAT's is part of the championship. Can he go ahead and clinch max points just like Bowling did tonight? We'll have to see. Commando Griff, any final thoughts on the race tonight, sir?
Well, overall, Pete, I was very impressed that it ended up coming down to strategy there at the end. Yes, Bowling had a fantastic truck. He was able to open it up to a massive lead. But, man, I might be the only one, but I love a good strategy race to end our night.
There you go. Well, man, big congratulations one more time to the one and only NNR Bowling. He said this year was going to be his year. He was going to get a truck championship. Next year, go for Xfinity. And then after that cup, we'll have to see how that all shakes out. But, man, what a great way to start this, start these playoffs, as he said. Guys and gals, we will see you tomorrow about 8:30 p.m. Eastern, right back here with the NNR Xfinity Series. J-Pie already put it out there. Same place, same time, and all 12 guys have a shot at the cup. And I gotta absolutely agree. That is one of the 3 series where anybody can win at any time. Nobody's really had a clear shot all the way through. King Mathers did take the points lead late in the regular season over the 9 of Q-Dog. But man, just like here, it's all reset. We'll see you tomorrow night, guys and gals. Please, as always, be safe, stay healthy. See you on the track. Catch you later.